My lady Dabambi, why do you sleep so still? I'll wake you tomorrow, and you will be my fill. Yes, you will be my fill. My lady Dabambi, why does it grieve me so? But your heart seems so silent. Why do you breathe so low? Why do you breathe so low? My lady Dabambi, why do you sleep so still? I'll wake you tomorrow, and you will be my fill. Yes, you will be my fill. My lady Dabambi, you look so cold tonight. Your lips feel like winter.
She's dead! She's dead!
Your skin is turned.
She's dead!
Your skin is
My
turned.
Mom! Mom! Come on, Mom!
My lady
Mom!
Dabambi,
Can't be dead, Mom!
why do you
Please
sleep
don't be
so
dead.
still?
Mom!
I'll wake you tomorrow, and you will be my fill. Yes, you will be my
Mom!
fill. La 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 la. My lady Dabambi, why do you grieve me so? But your heart seems so silent. Why do you breathe so low? Why do you breathe so low? I loved you, my lady.
Okay.
You see to the kids. I'll go to the hospital with her.
I'll always be with you. This rose will never die. This rose will never die. I loved you, my lady. Though in your grave you lie, I'll always be with you. This rose will never die. This rose will never die.
She'll be all right. We just managed to pump her out in time.
I'd rather her than me. Her old man's serving a 7 stretch, you know, for burglary with violence.
Yeah, I know.
Beer?
Yeah, the Tinnerswoods are patients of mine. Rosie was in with one of the kids only about a month ago.
Well, did you also know she's been in trouble herself more than once for shoplifting?
No, I didn't. But it doesn't surprise me.
So how long's she going to be in hospital?
Maybe a couple of days.
So what about the kids?
Well, we could arrange for them to be taken into care, I suppose, but it hardly seems worth unsettling them again, does it? All right, let's get tonight over, and then if she's still in hospital tomorrow, we'll sort out something else for them.
There you go. Is that all right for you kids?
You stupid!
Yeah, all right. Now knock that off, will you?
It was me started it! No, I didn't! Did you like
I'm not interested. Now that's enough.
Playing mothers and fathers, are we?
What are you doing here this early?
was passing by, I heard what sounded like murder going on. So you're the famous Tinniswood kids then, are you?
Morning, Phil.
Kate?
Can you manage, do you think?
Just hurry back, will you?
Can we have a word?
Yeah, of course. And you lot, just behave yourselves, all right? Married?
That's right.
It's got to be a joke, isn't it?
Not to me, it's not, no.
I didn't even know you were engaged.
Weren't until last night.
So who's the unlucky girl, then?
Jennifer Galvin.
Not that little bird with the big...
Yeah, she's in the car now.
So when's the happy day, then?
Well, Saturday down the registry office, if I can get a special licence organised in time.
I see. So I'm not the only one who's been playing mothers and fathers, then, eh?
It's not bloody funny, Nick.
No, of course not.
So you fix then? Be me best man?
Me? Yeah, all right. I'll be honoured.
Couldn't find anybody else.
Who's that?
Guess.
Hello.
Jenny, you've met Nick, haven't you?
I'll say. Told him our news then, have you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're off to buy the dress now.
A white one?
What else?
Look, I'll see you later, OK?
All right, Nick.
Oi!
It was him who started it! Liar!
Oh, come on.
If you hit us, Mr. Man, Man will have you up.
Morning, Rosie. How are you feeling?
How do you think? Where are my kids?
They're being well looked after. Now, do you want to talk about last night?
What's there to talk about? I tried to top myself, you lot stopped me. I hope you're not expecting any thanks from me for that.
It's the children you have to thank, I'd say. If they hadn't moved as quickly as they did.
Well, trust them.
It really doesn't bother you, then? What would have happened to them if you had managed to kill yourself?
Oh, they'd have survived, love. They've been brought up to. Let's face it, they'd have probably been better off.
I doubt if they'd think so.
Oh, well, what do they know, eh?
Had it really got that bad, then?
What's it to you, anyway?
I want to help if I can.
Why?
It's what I do.
It's what you're paid to do, you mean?
Yeah, among other things.
Well, I mean, you think to yourself, don't you? What's the point? I mean, just what is the bloody point? There's naught to eat in the house. No drink, as usual. Kids were running wild, as usual. I'd even been down to the shop to try and get something on tick. Just till I got my money, like, but with the husband inside. Never mind the fact that he didn't do it. I mean, that is the bit that really gets to you, you know. The fact that my Terry's inside for something he didn't even sodding well do.
Yeah, well, she would say that, wouldn't she?
What do you mean?
Well, you've heard 'em up in the public gallery in court, love. The wives and the mothers and the sweethearts. There's just no way on earth that their Tom, Dick or Terry ever did it.
I thought she sounded quite plausible.
Yeah, of course you did.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, it's par for the course, isn't it? The more plausible they are, the less reliable you find them, in my experience. Anyway, I'm going to be late. I'll see you later.
Right.
Delta Alpha 24, over. Delta Alpha 24, over.
Delta Alpha 24 receiving. There's an outbreak of violence where?
She's a liar, I tell you. I never touched a rotten cig lighter.
Then just what was it doing in the pocket of your dressing gown, Mrs. Tinniswood?
Well, how the hell should I know? Probably 'cause Sister Virtue here put it there. I mean, you buggers in uniform are all the same, aren't you? If you can't find evidence, plant it, right?
Yeah, all right. Can we have a word outside, please, Mitch? So where's the lighter now?
Here.
And what about you, Mrs. Bradburn? You say that when you accused Mrs. Tinniswood of taking it, she attacked you, right?
Like some wild animal.
Are you hurt at all?
No, thanks to her, I'm not.
So no real harm done, then?
I suppose not.
Come on, Mrs. Bradburn. We'll get a cup of tea.
And what do you think, then, matron?
How exactly do you mean, Constable?
Well, the lighter's been returned and no one's actually been injured. Is it really worth taking any further, do you think?
I want that woman out of this hospital within the hour. Is that quite clear, Constable?
Yes, matron. Thank you. Looks like you're going home, Rosie. Do you think you'll be able to manage with the kids all right?
Well, I've managed up till now, haven't I? But what do you care?
You've done nothing stupid, I hope. Like Booker for trying to kill herself last night, I mean.
I thought I'd wait and see what you thought, Sarge.
Then don't. We need her down the nick giving us earache like we need holes in our heads. Where is she now, La Tinniswood?
At home with the kids.
Aye. Still protesting her innocence, no doubt. Not to mention his non-stick Terry.
Is that what they used to call him, Sarge?
That's what I used to call him.
How come?
Well, that was the problem with our Terry, you see. We knew he was doing it, but making it stick.
You managed to finally, though.
Well, one of your predecessors over at Aidensfield did. Rowley Carson's.
Really?
Ah, he had him banged to rights one night a couple of years ago. Mind you, he were what you call a copper, a Rowley.
So how did he manage it, then?
Well, our Terry had broken into premises on the edge of the village. That big stone place just before the vicarage.
Oh, Miss Hamilton's?
Ah, that's the one.
Braver man than me.
In fact, it was Miss Hamilton that caught him, helping himself to the family silver. Then she got bashed over the head for her pains with a pickaxe handle.
Really?
Aye, not hard enough, though. She still managed to get to her phone and call us. And then when Rowley Carson's went round to Tinniswood's, there was the pickaxe handle in the back of Terry's van, still covered with blood.
So what's Rosie on about, then? Claiming he was innocent?
What, you tell me, Rowan, you tell me. Mind you, who knows what goes on in those nasty little criminal minds of theirs, eh?
Nick!
I'm in here!
Have you lost something?
A pair of handcuffs. Who's been in here today?
Only the Tinniswood kids, and they wouldn't. Would they?
And a quarter if you're quiet like you ought to be. With little children like you around, I wonder what can I do around little children like you.
Sure you didn't plant them on them, are you?
Change the record, Rosie. That one dropped out the charts months ago. It's really getting a bit boring.
But not of as boring as being stuck in this house with 3 kids to feed and not coming in. And with husbands stuck inside for something it was fitted up for by you lot.
You want to watch it, you know? You'll end up in court yourself making statements like that.
Oh, do give over. There's no way you lot will ever have me in court.
You're quite sure about that, are you?
Oh, I'm positive, love. And I'll tell you why I am. 'Cause I'd welcome it. That's why, and they know it. 'Cause then the press would be there to hear what I've got to say, wouldn't they? And somebody might just start asking some very awkward questions.
The weapon was actually found in the back of his van, covered in bloodstains.
Well, exactly. So there's no way it could have been my Terry, is there?
Well, how'd you work that out?
Because he just can't stand the sight of blood, that's why. Keels over you so much as prick yourself, always has. And that lot over at Ashfordley Nick know that.
Oh, I see. So they're all in on it now, are they?
Oh, you can laugh, love. But if that's so funny, you tell me why Rowley Carson's got quietly retired like that, straight after my Terry was sent down. Because that is what happens, isn't it, when one of your lot has been up to summit? You don't get add up like any of us lot would. Oh, dear me, no. They just get quietly shut, right?
That's ridiculous.
But not half as ridiculous as the idea of that 8.5 stone weakling my husband hitting somebody over the head with a pickaxe handle. Because he wouldn't hurt a fly, wouldn't that man? A right soft git. In fact, one of the great mysteries of life, as to anyone who knows him, is how he ever managed to give me 3 kids.
You two must have known Terry Tinniswood.
Little Terry? Oh, I see.
What was he like?
Right mardy little beggar.
Cried like a baby, you know, the night old Carson's brought him in.
Was he the sort who'd take a pickaxe handle to someone?
No. Still, I suppose he has to be a first time for everything, really.
Yeah, right.
Can you spare a moment, Rowan? You're not still going on about that Tinniswood rubbish, are you?
I'm just a bit puzzled, that's all, Sarge.
Puzzled?
About what could have happened to the file.
The file?
On the case. It seems to have gone missing. At least the contents have, anyway.
Well, wouldn't be the first time in the history of the police force that a file's gone missing, would it?
I suppose not, no.
Especially one of Rowley Carson's.
A bit careless about that sort of thing, was he?
Well, let's just say he was far more effective out there on the streets than he ever was behind a typewriter, shall we?
Sounds like a man after my own heart, Sarge.
No doubt, Rowan. No doubt. Why do you want the file, anyway? It's ancient history, the Tinniswood case.
Just curious.
Curious?
Well, it seems so completely out of character. For Tinniswood, I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you knew him.
I didn't. I'm just going from what people say.
People? You mean like that wife of his?
Not just her, Sarge.
Oh, I see. You've been conducting some sort of poll, then, have you? Door-to-door job, was it? Or did you just stop people at random on the streets?
I just happened to mention it to a couple of people around the Nick, Sarge.
Well, I'd have thought you'd have enough to do without digging up old cases, Rowan. I can see I'll have to find more things to keep you occupied.
Right, Sarge. How old was he?
Who?
Rowley Carson's, when he retired.
Oh, mid-40s, I suppose.
And pretty good at his job, right?
You better believe it.
So how comes he suddenly decided to retire that early, then?
I don't know why, Rowan. He never volunteered to tell me. And I don't really think it's any of your business.
So as you came through this door, Miss Hamilton...
Switching on the light, of course.
Right. And where was he?
Kneeling there and stuffing things into this sack he had with him.
Could you describe him?
Well, quite slight, I suppose. But as I pointed out at the time, he did have this balaclava thing over his face, you know.
And then what happened?
Well, he saw me. He suddenly jumped up, grabbed this stick thing and hit me over the head with it.
This stick thing being the pickaxe handle, right?
Well, so I'm told, yes.
And where did it come from, do you think?
Well, he brought it in with him, presumably.
You'd never seen it before?
It's hardly the sort of thing one is likely to leave lying about the dining room, Constable. A grubby pickaxe handle.
So what else do you remember about that night, Miss Hamilton?
Not a lot, really. door banging shut, I suppose, which was presumably him making his getaway, and then somehow managing to crawl to the telephone and dialing 999. After that, well, there I was in hospital. I must say, though, I was most impressed by the speed with which the culprit was apprehended.
We seem to have shifted a bit, Miss Hamilton.
How is P.C. Carson's these days?
You're invited, I suppose.
Invited?
To this do on Saturday. Little Jenny Galvin's wedding to Constable Bellamy.
Oh, that, yes. Nick's best man, in fact.
What a noddy, though, eh?
What do you mean by that?
Well, it is a shotgun job, right?
I really wouldn't know.
Well, you're the only one in village who doesn't. If you don't. Only, she's a patient of yours, right?
Yes.
I bet she's not been to see you about any baby yet, has she?
I'd say that's between myself and Jennifer, wouldn't you?
Thought not. And won't be doing neither, in my opinion. Not this side of the nuptials, any road.
What are you implying?
I'm not implying anything, Doctor. I'm telling you. Only when you've been a midwife as long as I have, you get as you can tell, don't you? Just by looking at the faces. Hell, whether they are or not. And I'm telling you, if that one's carrying, I'm King Farouk.
You don't really believe that, do you?
Of course not. Having said that, she did have a point.
What point?
Well, she hasn't been to see me. Jenny Galvin, I mean. And you'd think she'd want to make absolutely sure if that's the only reason they're getting married so quickly.
Do you think I should mention it to Phil?
Certainly not.
Why not?
Well, apart from anything else, it wouldn't be ethical, would it?
Well, I hardly think a spot of mucky gossip between you and Mrs. Bromley is covered by the official secrets, eh?
Now listen, don't you dare say a word, OK?
What, I let him go to his doom like a lamb to the slaughter?
You did say lamb, not ram.
Oh, it's you, is it?
Who do you think it was? Paul McCartney?
Well, now you come to mention it, there is an almost uncanny resemblance.
Well, he should be so lucky.
Can I get you something?
What were the things you were rummaging about way down there?
Milk stouts?
I'll have one of them.
But you don't drink milk stout, Claude?
You know, I know I don't normally, but I've always wondered what they taste like. That's why it's known as the bottom shelf.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. We made up for it.
That's 1 and 6, please.
Right, yeah.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, I'm sure I'll think of something.
Is there a stag party here tonight?
Phil Bellamy's, yeah?
Thanks.
Another satisfied customer?
A few more like him, we can all retire.
Yeah. I think I'll have another 1 and 6pence worth.
Have a good time.
Rowley Carsons will be there tonight.
Now, you be careful.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, but how many of me?
Thanks, George.
I'll have one of those, Phil, seeing as you're in the chair.
You must be on radar. Another one, please, George.
Hey, cheers, Phil, and to Boy Scouts.
Get nutted, will you?
Aye, not been a good idea at
What the hell are you doing here?
Right, not you and all, Mr. Blakeson. Do you know, I was just thinking in there, I've not seen as many blue bottles in one place since my dog Alfred got at me chocolate laxatives.
I trust you won't be hanging around long. You're lowering the tone.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Blake, this happens to be my local. And I'll tell you something else and all, if your lot don't behave themselves, I might be forced to make a citizen's arrest.
Right, Jim. See you at 11.
Right on, Mr. Carsons.
Don't be late.
Did you get us some then? I did. But what do you want them for, though? Told you, Al. It's just a bit of a joke. Now you need to worry about.
Yeah, no problems.
Oscar?
Bloody hell. Rolly Carson's. Who let you in?
How are you?
Oh, you know, a bit older, a bit wiser.
Well, certainly older, any roll.
Well, there's nothing wrong with your timing.
Well, you know me.
What'll you have?
I'll have a pint, thanks.
Right, George, a pint.
Nothing, George.
Well, hello, Mr. Carsons.
How's it going?
Still soldiering on.
I heard you'd been a bit poorly.
No, I haven't learned to live with, you know.
This your new missus, is it?
Oh, it's yours then, is it? The guide dog.
My niece Gina. Rolly Carsons.
So that's the legendary Rolly Carsons, is it?
Aye, that's him.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, you sure like the ball. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, you sure.
Turn that racket down, Gina. We can't hear ourselves thinking
When
here.
you're shaking in the shadow, can you hear your mama call? Oh, from the early, early morning to the early, early night. When I come, Miss Molly, rockin' at the house of blue light. Good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, you sure like the ball. When you're rocking and rolling, can you hear your mama call? Well,
See, what you have to realise about Jenny is a lovely girl. No doubt about that. A really lovely bit of stuff. But thick. She's just so thick, that girl. I mean, with your Kate, you're all right. Not just attractive, if you don't mind me saying so.
No.
Something up here with Jenny. Nobody at home. I mean, is that a recipe for a happy marriage? Eh? I mean, you tell me, is it?
I'll see you in a minute.
Oh, she's up the stick. Courtesy of yours truly. So what else can I do but marry you?
Rolly Carsons, right?
Nick Rowan. You took over my old patch, you did.
That's right.
How's it going?
All right, then.
Excellent. Put it there.
Yeah.
What are you having then?
I'll have the same again, please.
Gina, when you're ready, darling, two evil.
Listen, clear up a little mystery for me, will you?
If I can, yeah.
One of your old files seems to have gone missing.
One of my old files?
The one on Terry Tinnerswood.
That one, really?
Do you remember that case, then?
Oh, peak of an otherwise undistinguished career was that, Collar. Gone missing, is it?
Seems to have.
Yeah, me.
You got any idea where it might be?
Me? No, none at all, no. No, more than likely happened when he cleared my stuff out, I suppose. Why do you want it, anyway? He's not escaped, has he?
No, it's just something that came up, that's all.
From what?
Yeah, well, brought up, really, by his wife.
No.
Yeah, she still reckons he's innocent.
Good old Rosie. Blaming everyone but herself as usual for the mess she usually finds herself in. She's still at it, is she? Tell me, darling, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Well, you must have moved pretty sharpish that night to nail Tinnerswood like that.
Do you want to,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Oh, if you want the truth, lad. Well, lucky that, so. I mean, dead lucky, really.
Yeah?
Oh, aye. You see, I'd had a tip-off earlier on that evening that an old van had been hanging about suspiciously down at Posh End Village, you see. And, of course, when I heard what the registration was...
That rang a bell, did it?
Oh, it's engraved in my heart, the number of Teddy Tinnerswood's old banger. So once I'd got Miss Hamilton off to hospital, you see, I'd nipped straight round to Tinnerswood's. And, of course, when I've knocked on the door, there's no way they're going to let me in. So I reckon they had to be up to something. And, of course, when I found the van unlocked, there on the seat, pickaxe handle. I could hardly believe my eyes, honestly.
Seems a bit careless. That's what he was famous for, wasn't it? Covering his tracks.
Absolutely.
So what happened that night, do you think?
Who knows, lad, who knows? Me, I was just grateful something had at last. I suppose even the smartest of us makes mistakes sometimes, eh?
Yeah, right.
You're so full of you can't leave me here.
What are you two so deep in conversation about, then?
Let's go. I'm just telling young Nick here about the finest moment of my career. The night I finally nailed Non-Stick Terry.
Oh, yes.
Same again, is it?
Oh, yes, please.
Right. Sorry, Lance.
Still at it, are you, Rowan?
Just making conversation, Sarge, that's all.
Of course you were. By the way, I saw Miss Hamilton this afternoon. She said you went round to see her.
Hey, will you shut up? Shut up! Hey, you better get outside quick. Come on, it's serious. Come on, I'm not kidding. What's it all about?
Phil.
Oh, my God. So your story, Greengrass, is you went outside and you saw this bloke running away, right?
What do you mean, my story?
Why'd you go outside anyway? It's not like you. Leaving a bar while they're still serving.
No, it's all to do with you, but going on, wasn't it? That record player on Saladi gave me the earache.
And when you went outside, you definitely saw somebody running away, right?
Right.
What do you look like, this somebody?
Well, he was like, youngish.
Is that the best you can do? That he was youngish?
Well, tell you the truth, I thought it was one of your lot.
One of our lot?
Yeah, you know, Rosa, because he'd been in here earlier on.
What, at the party?
That's what I thought.
You're not just making this lot up, are you, Greengrass, just to cover yourself?
Look, don't start having a go at me just because your lot were playing silly buggers.
Yeah, look, the thing is, we need to let Jennifer know what's happened. Do you know where she lives?
Oh, I'm sure I must have her address somewhere. Hang on, I'll have a look. Here we are.
Right, Kate, could you do us a favour? Can you run her up to the hospital for me? Only I can't get away.
So what you're telling me now is you actually spoke to this bloke?
Yes, we both did.
What do you mean, both?
Me and young Gina over there.
Is there anything else you can remember about him, Gina? Anything at all?
I don't think so. Oh, except for these tattoos.
Tattoos?
Yeah, he had these tattoos on the back of his hands.
How is he?
Oh, I don't know yet. Kate's still in with him.
Where's Jennifer?
Here she comes.
How is he?
Well, he's still alive, no thanks to you.
Me?
You were in on it, weren't you?
No, not me.
No. But I bet you didn't know to stop it, though, did you? And I thought you were supposed to be his rotten pal.
It was a bit of a joke that went wrong, that's all.
Oh, a joke, was it? Well, believe me, my Phil's not laughing.
The good news is there's no real harm done. It looked a lot worse than it was.
Thank God for that.
So what's the bad news?
Well, he has got concussion and they'll want to keep him in for a couple of days' observation.
Bang goes my wedding for Saturday, right?
I'm afraid so.
Great.
Have you any idea yet who might have done it?
The most likely suspect seems to be some bloke who was spotted running off. By Greengrass, of all people.
Well, did he recognise him?
Well, not as such, no. But he had been in the pub earlier, so we got a pretty good description. He had a couple of tattoos.
Tattoos?
Yeah, a lion on the back of each hand.
Well, there can't be too many of those about.
Well, that's what we thought. Now, don't worry, Jennifer. We'll get him.
Oh, yeah. And what about his so-called mates who caused all this in the first place?
Some sort of an award, Greengrass.
Yeah, but, you know, for having a go last night like I did, you know, because if I hadn't done that, that young copper of yours could have been a goner, couldn't he?
So what exactly did you have in mind? Victoria Cross, perhaps?
No, I don't talk that, no, but I've heard the Queen's got a medal like she get to people for like, bravery and that sort of thing.
Oh, yes, that one.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do I think? I think you should get out of here, Greengrass. Fast.
No, you don't understand.
Greengrass, get out! Now!
The next time one of you lot's in trouble, I should know what to do, shan't I?
Run! My office, now!
Yes, son?
Shut the door.
Well, it's better news about Phil, Sarge.
It's not Bellamy I want to talk about.
No?
No, I want to talk about Rowley Carsons and this burning curiosity you seem to have developed about his sudden retirement. Not, of course, it's really any of your business. Still, we can't have you harbouring suspicions that perhaps somebody up there suddenly decided the time has come to sweep Rowley Carsons under the carpet.
It just seemed a bit strange for him to retire like that. That's all, Sarge.
Well, of course it did. A man like Rowley Carsons. No wonder you were suspicious. Right, then. Just to put your mind at rest, I've decided to tell you just exactly why Rowley Carsons retired early. And believe me, it's got nothing to do with Terry Tinniswood or that big-mouthed wife of his.
Cancer.
With secondaries, apparently.
So why was it all kept so secret, then?
Because that's the way Carsons wanted it.
God, you must have felt awful.
At least he's in the clear as far as the job's concerned. See, from what I saw of him, I liked him. A lot of the things that he believed in about community policing are the same things I believe in.
Well, at least it's all cleared up now.
Yeah, but it isn't, Kate, is it?
It isn't.
What was it that made me suspicious of him in the first place?
The fact that he took early retirement.
No, the fact that he was acting completely out of character by doing that. The same as Tinniswood would have been doing if he'd have hit Miss Hamilton over the head. But he was in the area that night, because his van had been spotted. And when Carsons got to his place, he wouldn't let him in. So what was he up to? Unless, of course...
What?
Well, I'd have to check it.
Check what?
Yeah, but I'd have to go to Ashfordley and dig out the old occurrence books. There's no way I can do that, not with Blaketon on the warpath. I know.
Nick, what are all these?
They're crime reports, going back to the year dot. We fill them out every day, and at the end of the year, we shove them up here. There you go, August.
How will they help?
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
Depends on what?
On whether I'm right or not. Here we go. Well. How about that, then? August the 23rd, Rosie, a couple of years ago. A night to remember, right? There were two break-ins that night. The one your Terry got his collar felt for, and the other one at the home of a couple called Mather. Only we didn't find anyone for that job. It was clean as a whistle. In fact, in many ways, a typical Terry Tinniswood tickle, I'd say. Do you want to tell me about it?
Don't know what you're on about. Honest.
What I'm on about, Rosie, is saving your husband's worthless neck and sticking mine out a mile to do so. To do yourself a favour, stop mucking me about, and for once in your life, try telling the truth for a change. There were two break-ins that night, Sarge, not one. And there's no way Tinnerswood could have done both jobs. They were 10 miles apart, and there wasn't enough time. And according to Rosie, it was the Mathers' place that Terry broke into, not Miss Hamilton's.
How come neither of them said so at the time?
Because they assumed that if they had, Terry would have carried the can for both jobs, I suppose.
And you expect me to take that woman's word for all this? Against the word of one of the best police officers it's ever been my privilege to command.
No, of course not, Sarge. This is what's left of the stuff that Terry stole from the Mathers' place. They were still stashing it away, apparently, when Rowley Carson's arrived. Which is why they wouldn't let him in. I think you'll find it all matches that list of stolen goods you've got there, Sarge.
You just couldn't leave it alone, could you, Rowan?
You telling me I should have then, Sarge?
I just hope you realise, that's all, what a can of worms you've opened here. And it won't do your own career prospects much good either. Whistleblowers don't rise too rapidly, in my experience.
There's a bloke already served 18 months for a job he didn't do.
Who should have been inside years ago.
Yeah, but not for this one. And that is what really matters, isn't it, Sarge? Else everything's down the pan.
Yeah, you're right, Rowan. Oh, just one more thing. I wouldn't like to think that you're suggesting that I was party to any of this.
I thought you knew me better than that, Sarge. You ready?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right.
Jenny came to see me last night.
Oh, yeah?
She's lost a baby, she says.
I see.
Yeah, funny. Just when I was getting used to the idea of being a dad. She's broken off the engagement as well.
She has?
Yeah. By the way she saw it, there was no need for us to get married, was there?
Oh, well. At least it lets you off the hook anyway.
Well, that's a problem. Don't ever want to be.
You don't?
Well, I've been doing a lot of thinking while I was lying there, and I realised how much I was looking forward to marrying her. Do me a favour, will you, Nick? Take me round to Jenny's. I'm going to tell her I'll marry her after all.
You sure about that?
I've never been more sure about anything in my life, I tell you.
Right, well, I'll wait around then. See if I am needed on Saturday.
Cheers, Nick.
Phil.
Hello, love. Can I come in?
No,
Why not?
I'm undressed.
So? You bastard!
No! Oh, my God!
Come here! See how you feel, eh? Come on! Johnny, get out of here! That's him! It's a bastard who turned me over!
I can explain that if you'll just listen.
You can explain, you two-timing cow!
Yes.
Well, go on then, explain.
It was my boyfriend, were Peter. Long before I ever met you.
Oh, man.
Only he wouldn't marry me like, so we had this dead big row and he walked out on me. Only when he found out I took up with you and were having to marry you like, he come dashing back, didn't he? Just mad with jealousy, I suppose. So when he saw you there...
Oh, please!
Well, he just lost all control of himself, didn't he?
And that's his story, is it?
Well, it happens to be the truth, Squire.
And now he's realised, hasn't he? Just how out of order he was.
Oh, has he?
For mucking me about, I mean. Now he says he will marry me.
Congratulations. Oh, thanks.
No!
Only don't be planning no honeymoon, 'cause you're nicked, sunshine.
$64,000 question being, of course, was she ever pregnant in the first place?
What was it she said again? She said she supposed she could have been.
Poor old Bellamy.
Hello, Nick.
Hello. Come in.
Hello.
Kate, this is Rowley Carson's.
Oh, you'll be Mrs. Rowan, right?
Yes, hello.
I do. Have you got a minute to...
Yeah, of course.
I'll leave you to it.
No, that's all right. I'm sure Nick's told you all about this. Anyway, it won't take very long. Is it all right if I...
Yes, yes, of course.
Only I've made a full statement to Blaketon, admitting everything, of course. I think it's best to come forward voluntarily. Perhaps they go a bit easier on me that way, you know. Now, that is, of course, if you are happy to go along with that.
Yeah, more than happy.
Oh, thanks very much. Well, that's it, I think. He's a good copper. He'll do all right.
Just tell me one thing, will you?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a good question, is that? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I was already at Mather's when I got the call that Miss Hamilton's place had been done over, you see. Now, I could tell straight away that the Mather's job had to be one of Terry Tinniswood's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
But there was no way I was ever going to be able to pin it on him, you see. So when I've got over to Miss Hamilton's and I found this pickaxe handle lying there, well, I've taken it along with me to Terry Tinniswood's. Now, not with the intention of planting it on him. I mean, it weren't that cold-blooded. Only when I found Terry's van door unlocked, well, I was tempted, weren't I? You see, all I could think about all the time I was thinking, now he's going to get away with this. He's going to carry on long after I'm gone. Because, you see, it was the same day that I got the, you know, the bad news from the doctor. What I got to lose, you see. Now, I'm not trying to justify what I did. It was wrong, I know that. But I got the chance just to tilt the scales in our favour for once. And I succumbed. Just the once in 30 years. But you see, when it's something as important as the law you're on about, just the once is enough, right?
Good. What do you think they'll do to him?
Well, they'll throw the book at him, of course. But from what Blaketon says, he won't be around long enough to have to face it. At least he was right about that bit, anyway. Hello, Rosie.
Oh, hello.
You'll be home soon, then? You're Terry?
Yeah, but in what sort of state, though, eh? After what he's been put through.
Well, at least his name's been cleared.
Exactly. And how long before he's up to his old tricks? We'll have the coppers round every 5 minutes each time a set of spoons goes missing. At least I got some peace whilst he was inside.